Hey everybody, welcome back to the Comic Wall. It's your girl, the Outcast Angel, and today let's talk about issue 3 of Robert Kirkman's newest series, Die, Die, Die. And first off, another fantastic cover by Nathan Fairbairn and Chris Burnham. They are the ones who do the cover, right? Well, of course they are. Anyway, um, this issue was just violent, of course, but it was also weird and a little dark. Honestly, I mean, of course, the series is gonna get pretty dark. I mean, issue 2 was pretty freaking dark, but I don't know. It's just this one had had that feel to it, you know. And I mean, we start off right away with some pretty dark undertones by going into a background of Nate Lipschitz, Nate being big burly Nate, and turns out I thought the last name Lipschitz would have meant he was, I don't know, maybe a brother to what's her face, Connie Lipschitz, Senator Connie, or Senator Lipschitz, excuse me. But no, he's apparently they're not related. Well, no relation with the question mark. But I mean, turns out the monologue here says Nate Lipschitz was a decorated U.S. soldier specializing in explosives and munitions. He was an invaluable asset in the war efforts in the Middle East. That is, until an unsavory incident involving a commanding officer caused Nate to suddenly not be so decorated. Rumors were that a single punch to the groin resulted in said commanding officer's instant death. Well, I mean, he kind of deserved it. Anyway, Senator Connie Lipschitz, no relation. There's the question. Wasn't one to let such talent go to waste. She worked tirelessly and traded in a few favors in order to rescue Nate from living out his days in a secret military prison. It wasn't pretty, but eventually she was able to add him to her team. Now Nate is not only energized by the second chance at life, he's also rededicated himself to the cause now that he knows he's working for someone who wants to, above all else, do the right thing. With that in mind, Nate is always the first to throw himself into the fray because for God and country, he is more than willing to die, die, die. And we have another amazing title sequence as well as another very violent and gory title sequence. And I really hope they keep up with this title sequence thing going on because it works so well. Anyway, so yeah, I mean, it's with a whole issue centered around Nate. I still kind of feel that Connie they may be like brother and sister or something because Connie wouldn't work so hard to try and get him back. I mean, we saw how hard she worked to get Paul back, but that didn't work out very well, you know. Anyway, going into it, we see Connie and what's his name? I can't remember his name. We see Connie and this guy from issue 1, I believe, the short guy with the bald head and glasses. We see them talking in this limo, and they're dressed up pretty nice, and Connie looks pretty good for her age. I mean, I don't know her age, but she reminds me of she reminds me a little bit of Hillary Clinton, to be honest. Anyway, this other guy with the glasses is kind of scolding her for her whole risking this operation. The whole operation here is that they're trying to get leverage on on this big politician who turned out to be a pedophile, and Paul ended up getting, of course, as we saw in issue 1, ended up getting captured in the process of setting up this said leverage. But Connie, of course, worked hard to get Paul back, which ended up in the whole carnage we saw leading up to now. And anyway, this guy is pretty brutal. I mean, he goes into it saying how she jeopardized a plan that helps millions to stop a problem that affects, what, 100? And he was pretty much saying that he could turn a blind eye um, to the pedophile business, but when it came to the bigger picture, that's what he was focused on. And honestly, that was pretty damn dark. I mean, the fact that he can live with that, like, holy crap. And he also goes into saying, like, at the end of the day, that's your big societal harm. You're risking an agent's life to prevent, like, really? And he says, you fucking baby, shame on you. And I'm just like, dude, like, where is this guy coming from? It just makes my skin crawl. And he says, what I can't live with is losing all the positive things we can get out of properly leveraged politician. The sky is the limit here. And Connie looks very surprised by this. And so he continues to say that even if we won't all admit it to ourselves, we will forgive damn near anything. But we're the adults who are supposed to be able to say these things out loud, so the rest of us can buy cheap clothing and look the other way. And then Connie goes into her own little spiel saying, don't ever justify something to me by saying that's how that's always been done. I'd be pushing my fifth baby out of my... Yeah, I'm not going to go into that. Anyway, she goes into saying how, like, saying just that, if we let things just work the way they always have, it wouldn't always work, there would be no progress, and there'd be no productiveness going on, and so she continues to go into it saying, our end goal, at least what it should be, nothing short of utopia, peace and prosperity for all, which is a little far-fetched considering the chaos of this world. But she says, if that's not the end goal, then why bother? If we don't aim for perfection, we might as well quit. And that's a long fucking shot. I get it. So in the meantime, I'm going to focus on two things. First, we need to make sure we never lose sight of the fact that our ultimate goal is nothing short of utopia. Second, along the way, if we can right some wrongs, like, say, keeping someone from being a pedophile, we do that, because that's the absolute least we can do. Anyway, turns out we see them gearing up for this, some kind of party, obviously, but they put on these masks, and it turns out they're showing up to some sex party, and Connie even goes into saying, oh please, aren't you going to stand on the sidelines and watch with the rest of your limp dick degenerates this time? If I see you anywhere near me, I'm closing up shop and packing it in. I don't care how close to climax I am, or how close I am to climax, or how many people I'm servicing at the time. Jesus. It's just, And of course we see all these partially naked people standing on the lawn waiting for their partners to go in. It was weird. Anyway, now we see Nate along with two other people, and I'm not sure who this other guy's name is, but I know her name is... I forgot her name. Excuse me. Bethany. There we go. And turns out that they're I guess preparing for this robbery that just happens to go on. And they're actually protecting the robbers. Like, this guy uses a sonic gun, I guess, to make some of the police officers surrounding these guys sick. And then Nate, of course, with his explosions, causes a ruckus around them that ends up helping these robbers escape. And now, in some abandoned building by a warehouse or by a bayside, we see Bethany getting ready to conduct business with these thieves, but when they get there, she says, I have your new passports and plane tickets in this case, the code for which will be texted to you the moment we have parted ways. But then the leader of this group says, that's all well and good, but I want to see what's in the box. And so obviously that wasn't a deal, and he's not taking it. He says, "Fuck your deal, girl. I need to know what it is. If it's valuable, we want half." Great. Anyway, um, it looks like it's about to turn into trouble when Nate is about to jump in. The other guy holds him back, saying, "Hold on, let her have her fun." And Bethany takes out at least two of these men um, from this group, and manages to knock down the leader and basically just take him out, And so this other woman in the group is holding a gun to her, and she says, um, "I want you to notice the two guys in the back of the room and how they haven't lifted a finger. See them? Good. They're total badasses. Trust me, you're fucked." Now, I'm going to ask you a question, and anything short of putting the gun down and surrendering will be considered as a yes. Understand? Do you want to die? And so obviously they don't, so they throw down their guns and they get the hell out of there. And that was pretty badass, to be honest. It was just crazy. Now we see Paul sitting in a hospital room as this woman comes in who's helping him, discharging him from the hospital. And turns out this woman is Paul's girlfriend. But thing is that she obviously doesn't know her boyfriend is dead and replaced by his evil quadruplet brother. And so at one point she says, "You're supposed to tell me where you're going to be when you go off on your adventures. That's the deal." And he says, "I know that, Jessica." And she's like, "Excuse me, Julia? You know my name is Jennifer, you shit." And he's like, and then he says, "Of course I know your name is Jennifer. Jennifer, I was just screwing with you. Jennifer." It's just, and and obviously this is going to cause some problems because new Paul needs to fit into Paul's old role. Now, we haven't exactly gotten his name yet up to this point, so that's why I keep calling him New Paul, or the evil triplet brother, whatever, Now we jump back to Bethany, Nate, and this other guy we still haven't gotten a name for, and what is it? No, they're conducting business with this other woman who's helping them get leverage on this said politician, but it goes well, and then Nate ends up having to part ways, saying that he needs to get home. Then we jump away from them back to Connie and her friend. I forgot her name. It says here, Anita, and they're talking about. Geez. Connie's dialogue here says, "I'm going to be walking crooked for a week at least. I was the belle of the ball, if you will. Good to know I still got it, but shit. God." Anyway, they start talking, saying how, I guess, the business between Nate, Bethany, and the other guy went smoothly and everything to get the blackmail on this politician. But then Connie goes into it saying, "Yeah, we could get all your nude photos back instead of just the ones you retrieved today." And obviously Anita's like, "Wait, what?" And she's like, "First, don't ever think you can get one over on me. Second, I wouldn't have let you, Nate, if you didn't need an open seat on the operations committee. I'd be disappointed in you if you didn't pick someone that aligns with your interests. Stealing our blackmail cash on you in the process? Impressive." Anyway, now we jump back to Nate, who's getting home and passing by the attractive neighbor girl, whatever, and he's home to find his babysitter obviously waiting to go home, and annoyed that she had to wait so long. Anyway, we see that Nate has a little girl, a young girl about maybe 4 or 5, maybe 6, I don't know. And she's such a cutie. Anyway, she jumps out of bed saying, "Can you read me a bedtime story?" Or Yeah, can you read another chapter to me? And so, as he starts reading, she asks, "Can I hold your gun, Daddy?" Wait a minute, what? And so, um, Nate takes the magazine out, clears the chamber, and hands her the unloaded gun. But just what? And so she's playing with the gun as he's reading, and she says, "I'm good with a gun. Nobody will ever kill me like they killed Mommy." Whoa. Ouch, kid. Anyway, now we go into Paul and Jennifer's home, and Jennifer's cooking dinner, which looks amazing. I absolutely love steak. I'm an absolute uh, dog for a good steak. Anyway, um, new Paul is trying to figure out, trying to really place himself into Paul's old shoes. And as they get ready to sit down for dinner, Jennifer starts to notice a little inconsistencies with Paul. And so one of the things is that she serves some extra mushrooms, saying, "Extra mushrooms for you." And Paul says, "My favorite. I love mushrooms," first off. And then that's when she gets up and goes to a cabinet. But when she comes back, Paul is ambushed with a heel to the neck against the wall. And he says, "Shit, couldn't remember which brother hated mushrooms." First off, how dare you? Second off, we see Jennifer holding him with her heel. I can't even lift my leg up that high. And holding a katana to his throat, well, kind of like at him, saying, "What did you do with my brother, George?" George. His name's George. What? First brother was named Paul. Second brother was named John. Now we have George. Where's Ringo? We practically have three-fourths of the Beatles here. Like, seriously. Anyway, holy crap! I'm scared to see where the next issue goes, because with how intense it got the first two issues, obviously this is gonna get like crazier, you know. And so with that being said, that's the end of this issue and this video. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys liked it, and if you did, drop a like, show the love, hit that subscribe button to get more of my videos, ring the bell to get notifications when I post new videos, so that way you guys stay updated and don't miss out. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.